I read through your paper and your study found that data clearly indicated that close others in the students' lives and their interpersonal relationships with them played a key role in enhancing students' ikigai. And a word that seemed to pop up in their reports or their conversations with you was this word ibasho. How would you translate ibasho?
I would, and this is the word actually some of their interviewee used, and I kind of took it and made it a basically name of the sub-theory here. And I would say it's an authentic relationship. And then what we mean authentic, I think we're gonna talk about it in more detail, but you can be who you really are and they're true to you too. That as in the close outer people, whether maybe they're friends or family members or whoever that might be, they're also true to you too. And then whatever that they're doing for you, whether it's something that they're saying to you or you guys are doing something together or whatever that might be, that their behavior, their intention are genuine rather than a bit of superficial, ulterior motive. I think that's one thing that I wanted to I should have mentioned in terms of Japanese culture and ikigai, a little bit of unique culture components. And this is not that I have researched on it, but I've read something and the pop culture and, my anecdotal experiences too, that in a collectivistic culture, I think sometimes relationships it's not like we're all together and peaceful and friends and all that. And Nick, probably you can speak to that too. Sometimes there are politics, there are ulterior motives in a relationship. There is a compromises and negotiation. There is, basically, passive negative interactions. There's so many things, and that are basically more complicated in those collectivistic culture because there are more emphasis to the relationship, right? You cannot screw up some important connections because that really matters in terms of your success or whatever that might be. You cannot be basically, oh, I'm awesome, so I'm, I can do whatever with other people. That's just quite not like that. So in those situations, actually, a lot of relationships are not genuine in a true sense. I mean, at least in people's mind. And I think that's something that young adults and also potentially many other people are feeling. And in those culture and social dynamics, I think this ibasho and authentic relationship really shine as in really something that people cherish.
Yeah, it's interesting what you've just said because you reminded me of the Japanese concept of, or the phrase of honnin tatemae.
Yes.
Where tatemae is like a false self or a self you present to the outside world. Mm-hmm. And is it honnen or honnin?
Honne, yes.
Honne
it's a
is your true
voice,
self.
true sound, basically.
And
so yes, and then that's the tricky part is in many, at least I know Canada and the US a lot, that we consider that type of sometimes lip services and dual sort of like a, double standards as a negative thing. We consider that inauthentic. That's not a good thing. But in many collectivistic culture, including Japan, it's just taken for granted. You cannot just believe in face value of what people are saying or what people are doing, that depending on a social context, for example, business or whatever that might be, you would usually assume that there is some, double standards, and that's just okay, So in that kind of culture and this situation, it's really, really important and sometimes rare to have a people with whom you can be real